Hey everyone, Josh Lamford here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be building a guitar pedal board, but here's the catch. We're gonna build it for under $250. Let's get started. Now, building a guitar pedal board for under $200 might sound crazy. If you're shopping at Guitar Center or Sweetwater, you could easily spend $100 or $200 on each of the guitar pedals, and you could easily spend a whole lot more money on the pedal board and on the power supply for the pedal board. And if you add all that up, it could easily be over $1,000. But what do you do if you're on a budget and you want to build a guitar pedal board for much cheaper? Well, you can go to the app that most people on a budget go to, and that is the Temu app. Now, I'm sure you do have to be careful about some of the things you get from Temu. I'm sure there are some like really cheap, crappy stuff, but all of the pedals that I'm gonna show you today, I've watched reviews for on other YouTube videos, and people thought that they sounded great and they sound like really high quality pedals for the money. So let's go ahead and unbox and take a look at each pedal. So the pedals that I'm going to be using today are the Vintage Overdrive, and it's based off of a Tube Screamer, the Classic Chorus, the Digital Delay, and the Digital Reverb. And one thing that I like about each of these pedals is they're made out of metal, so they're going to last a lot longer than some of the cheap plastic pedals. But they're also, as you can see, they're very tiny and very compact, so you can fit them onto a really small pedal board. And so I decided to order a pedal board that wasn't super big. Now, the only pedal that I'm using today that's not from Temu is the Joyo AC Tone pedal. I got this from Amazon, and it's an amp sim pedal, so it's really useful in situations where you're playing live and you don't have a physical amp to plug into. And when you have one of these, you can plug directly into a PA system and still sound amazing. And in this case, sound like you're playing into a Vox AC30 amp. Next, I have my Godtone power supply, and I have 5 cords that I've plugged in for each of the 5 pedals I'll be using today, and this will power all of those pedals. I also have these patch cables that I got from Guitar Center, and I'll be using these to connect all the guitar pedals together. I really like these patch cables because, as you can see, they're really thin and really compact, so you can fit a lot more pedals onto your board when you're using these patch cables. And then finally, last but not least, I have the actual guitar pedal board. So I like this because it's an aluminum pedal board, so it's nice and sturdy and should hold up really well and hold all these pedals. So this pedal board comes with some Velcro, as you can see, and one side of the Velcro is going to go on the board, then this other side is going to go on the pedal, and as you can see, it sticks pretty well to this other thing of Velcro. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take off this paper on the back of the Velcro, and it will stick to this board. So now that this Velcro is all on the board, the next step will be to stick the other side of the Velcro to each of the pedals that I'll be using. So as you can see, I've finished sticking the Velcro to each of these pedals, and now they should stick to the board just perfectly. And I'll also be putting these patch cables to hook the pedals up to each other. Alright, the next thing we'll do is we're going to add the Velcro to the power supply and stick our power supply to the board. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hook all the cords that are in the power supply up to the pedals so we can get power to each of the pedals. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're hooking up these power cords is you do not want the power cords to be touching the cables that connect the pedals to each other. If they do touch, you might be getting some weird electronic frequencies or electronic interference. You can see I'm moving these cables up just a little bit. Alright, so it's a few days later, and I decided I'm going to add a pedal to this board. I'm going to add the Donner volume and wah pedal, and that way I'll be able to control the volume, and it'll also be neat having a wah effect. So let's add that to the board. Now, another pedal that I could have also added to this board is the tuner pedal, but since I'm trying to keep it to 250 or less, I decided to leave it out for this video. Alright, the moment of truth has arrived. Now we're going to add the amount that I spent on each pedal together, and also the amount that I spent on the pedal board, and let's see if I spent less than $250. So first of all, I spent $40 on the AC tone pedal. I spent $28 on the digital reverb, and the digital delay and chorus I got on a sale. So I just spent $13 on the digital delay and $13 on the classic chorus. I spent $14 on the vintage overdrive. I spent $59 on the Donner volume and wah pedal, so this is the most expensive pedal on this board. I spent $21 on the power supply, and then finally, for this pedal board, I spent $48. Now, the only thing I'm not including in this cost calculation is these little patch cables. Those probably would bring the price a little bit over $250, but I'm going to include everything else in this calculation to see how much we spent. Well, everyone, we did it! We built an entire pedal board with Amazon and Temu pedals, and we did it for under $250. So now, let's plug these pedals in and see what they sound like. And just a quick note before we plug in, I'm using my Spark amp, but I'm going into the Spark app and I'm turning off the virtual amp and all the pedals, except I'm keeping a little bit of compression and also a noise gate. So you won't be hearing any of the sounds in the Spark app. All the sounds will be coming directly from my guitar pedal board into the amp. Alright, so here's the clean tone just going directly into the amp without any pedals. Alright, now let's add the AC tone pedal, which is going to be my virtual amplifier. Sounds amazing, and this will definitely make a great amp replacement when I'm playing live. Now let's try the digital reverb. Now let's add a little bit of delay in. Now let's add the chorus. Now I'm going to add a little bit of overdrive. Now one thing that's really neat about this pedal board is having the volume pedal where I can adjust the volume and do little swells like this. Well everyone, we did it, and I had so much fun building this pedal board with you guys. And overall, after plugging it into the amp, I think it sounds great. So I can't wait to try it out at my church's worship team and at other gigs that I play at. So be sure to like and subscribe for more music and guitar content, and I will see you in the next video.